kingdoms collapse. Now anarchy reigns. You want it, you got it. Now anarchy reigns.
What's up? It's another episode of the You Want It, You Got It podcast. Today, I have the pleasure of speaking with the men from Trashed Ambulance. What's up, gentlemen?
Hello.
Not too much, Russ. How you doing, bud?
You guys are my Canadian cherry busters.
Woo! What an honor.
Yeah. And
We'll be
and
gentle.
what if it's a four-way, you know what I'm saying? What's up?
4G.
Yeah, 4G. So, Josh, I met you a couple days ago. We've been chit chatting, and I was like, well, let's get together and let's talk. And here we are. I really enjoyed your stuff that I heard online. Even that live album didn't really sound like too much of a live album to me. It sounded really good.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah. So, how long you guys been around? How long y'all been a band?
The band started, we're saying, in like the summer of 2014.
Oh, okay.
So I'm the only OG member. Nick just
All right.
joined last summer.
Okay.
Yeah, we got him for just to fill in because our last bass player moved to other side of the country, so we needed someone, and then he just never left. He just attached to our underbellies, and he's been just dragging him around for a year now. So,
So,
and then, Rica joined when 2020.
Yeah, it would have been early
2019?
2020. I auditioned first time 2019, and then you ghosted me. But
damn.
rest is
Okay.
history.
You know, and then I sent him the "you up" text 6 months later or something, and he's like, "Okay, I'll join."
Yeah, I
It's
want
not
to play
you,
drums.
it's me.
So yeah, the band has been around for 10 years, but this particular arrangement has been, Nick just joined, but me and Rica have been playing now for 5 years, well, 4.5 years or so.
Have you were you guys in bands before this?
Yes.
Yeah. You can go first, Nick.
Yeah. So I was thrilled to join Trashed. I was playing in this band, and we got to play with Trashed and Loser Points back in the day, and that's where I met Josh. And then, I probably have played in half a dozen to like 10 bands since I was like 13. Always been on the bass, I've always enjoyed playing bass, mostly punk rock stuff. I've dabbled in some other genres and things, but I'm stoked to be on the trashed wagon. It's fun. Haven't even hit a year yet. I joined last summer.
So you're the newbie, huh?
I'm the newbie. Yeah, I'm the youngest of the band, not by much.
He hasn't completed his hazing rituals yet, so
Oh yeah.
he doesn't know what's coming.
Yeah.
You're gonna be you're always gonna be the newbie in the band. So you always get the hazing, It's,
I'm here for it.
He's always asking me when we're getting that second guitar player. He's like, "Come on, man, give me a break."
Ricky, what about you, man? You were in any other bands?
Yeah, I mean, I've been around. I've been playing in bands since I was 13.
Uh-huh.
But I won't dive too deep into that history. But this is definitely my favorite band I've ever been in. So it's been a lot of fun.
Must make you feel good, huh, Josh?
Yeah, I mean, he sticks around after all the verbal abuse I give him.
Yeah.
The both physical and mental anguish I cause him. He's still here. So.
Give me your typical trashed ambulance show.
Oh,
Like 4 or 5 people in the crowd.
They vary pretty
That sounds like a good show right there. 4 to 5. That's pretty good, man.
That's pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Josh and Nick with a couple tequilas.
The pre-show ritual, the vocal warmer. Usually a shot of tequila 10-20 minutes before set time, have a beer or two. The best reaction I saw to us was at Punksgiving in Red Deer. Like, the crowd participation was incredible. People seem to know the songs there, and there's been a few shows like that since I joined, and those always feel really good when you get like people all fired up and they know the songs, and you're like, oh wow, this feels receptive. This feels good.
I've heard this Punksgiving. What exactly is this Punksgiving?
I guess I should field this one. Yeah, kind of. Is it so? It's on Thanksgiving Sunday in here in
Okay.
Red Deer. So last year was the inaugural, like, first attempt at this festival. So I
Okay.
kind of did it through my work. I sell beer on, like, as my day job.
Okay.
And my boss like challenged me, oh, you should throw like a music festival. And like they kind of financially helped out, you know, so it wasn't all on me, and they weren't gonna let me like really eat it if it was a complete dud. But luckily, yeah, we at least broke even. But yeah, we had Pulley as the headliners,
Oh, nice.
so we just kind of lucked out that they were coming through. That's why I didn't initially want to do it on a Sunday, but then it was like, oh, it's Thanksgiving Sunday. We didn't know we have a different Thanksgiving than you up here.
Yeah.
Ours is in October. And yeah, we didn't know what to expect. But we kind of hoped people would just move their dinner to a different day. And a lot of people did. I think there's probably like 250 people there, which is pretty good for starting this out of nothing. And yeah, then we had about 5 other bands, including us, on the bill. And yeah, it was just a good time. It's got together and the drinks were flowing and the bands were all great. And everybody played when they were supposed to. Like, nobody went late. Everybody got the hell off the stage. It was good for the first time trying it. Like, I was having like night terrors all week. Like, this is gonna be a dud. But
Yeah, you were super happy when it was all said and done. You were like just all the weight off your shoulders from getting that all together and having it said and done. Like, yeah, it was cool.
You just never know how it's gonna go, right?
Oh yeah.
Because there's like the first time I promoted a bigger band like Pulley, right? So I didn't want to like have it be a complete shit show, but luckily they were happy and everybody was happy.
You were freaking out for a few months. You say like the week before, but you were having a hard time.
I was freaking out till about 2 weeks before because there was like 12 tickets sold. Red Deer's notorious for they call it last minute Red Deer. Like, people just don't buy fucking tickets. And then sometimes the Trash Island show, they just don't come at all. this time they did show up.
Can we get the guest list?
Yeah.
I got about 700 guest lists. Since I was the guy that was doling them out, it's like, oh fuck, if you come and sing front row, then you can come. But if I see you like lurking in the back with your arms crossed, the bouncer's throwing you out immediately. luckily everybody participated. None of that cross arm bullshit was allowed.
What is the scene like around where you guys are at?
Well, I'm from Hinton, which is 4 hours away. It's right beside Jasper, if you know where that is. It's like bordering BC. We used to have a pretty good music scene here. We're a very small town, though. We're like 10,000 people, whereas Red Deer is like, what, 100,000?
120.
120,000, yeah. So it's like a small city, whereas I'm in a small town. And yeah.
The scene in Red Deer is pretty good. It's a little oversaturated. Red Deer really seems to like metal music. It's a very metal-oriented community. And because of COVID, a few venues kind of shut down, so it's a little bit limited for where you can go. But overall, you know, there's been a lot of really great shows. There's a lot of really great people. You have your skids and your shitheads, but you know, definitely some good shows for sure.
For geography's sake, if you've heard of Calgary and Edmonton, like those are the 2 biggest cities in our province.
Yeah.
We're right in the middle on like the main highway. So like an hour north here in Edmonton, hour south here in Calgary. So there used to be the joke that we were just like the piss stop, that people bands would just stop and fucking take a piss and maybe get some donuts at the donut mill. No one would ever stop and play here. But that narrative's kind of changed the last couple of years. There's been more bands that are like, oh, maybe it is worth it to play Red Deer. So.
Yeah.
I always call it the gooch between Calgary and Edmonton.
That's pretty good. Yeah.
Smells like one too.
I guess that would be like where I'm at between St. Louis and Nashville. So, you know.
There you go, Gooch Brothers.
Yeah. I mean, no.
What have I become?
It's a little in between place, you know.
Yeah.
It's fun.
So the band here, like, what's a good topic that you guys talk about? Is it just, you know,
in our music?
What?
Yeah, in your music.
What's some toppings we talk about, like for slices? Oh man.
Slice
Topping.
top.
Yeah. What kind of toppings do you like on your pizza?
Oh, I could go on about this. Yeah.
Are you talking like our lyrical content?
Yeah.
I don't know. We're not like a preachy band or anything like that. Like, I mean, we obviously have our beliefs and stuff. We just,
Yeah.
I don't know. If we feel like bands like Propaganda and Bad Religion kind of have it covered, they don't need
Yeah.
a dumbass like me to chime in. But yeah, we just sing about what we know, right? Like
Yeah.
depression and friendships that go to shit, stuff like that. It's funny because Nick's a very happy guy, so let's look on the bright side kind of guy. He's like, hey, what if we do like a little twist at the end of the song? Everything works out. Let's have a good time with this song. Like, oh no, everything sucks, Nick. Like,
There's a lot of inside jokes and a lot of self-deprecation, and I think we talk a lot about mental health and the way we abuse our bodies. that tends to come up a lot, right? So, but we're trying to be more positive, I think.
Yeah, I think if you listen to our last like full-length record we put out, like the last song on side A was one that Rica wrote the words, and he kind of ended it. It's kind of a downer song, but then he ended it with a little bit of hope at the end. And then the very last song was the same idea, kind of like a pretty dark themes, but then the end is like, kind of a little bit of hope, a glimmer of hope. So that's kind of like the direction we're in. It's like, we can't just sing about how everything sucks constantly. You gotta,
but if you sing about that in a major key, then it's okay. Cause then I like that. It's like,
it's hard not to make cheesy songs, like positive songs that aren't just corny, right?
Yeah. I mean, you're right.
And when we do, it's just like, oh, let's have some beers with my buddies. And I don't know. How many times can I write about that?
Yeah. I mean, people. There's a lot of bands that just write about the same topic over and over, and it does them good, But
Propaganda.
Oh, yeah. Well, since we mentioned them twice already, were they like a big deal? I mean, I know they're a big deal, but when you guys growing up, was that like one of the bands that you guys were pulled inspiration from?
Definitely.
Well, we're all from different places, right? Like, Rica, your formative years are out east in Ontario, right? I was from Saskatchewan, a little tiny. And then Nick and Rica are quite a bit younger than me, like 8 years younger or something.
30. Rica's 30, 31 soon.
Yeah, I'll be
39 right away.
I think like a lot of my friends were into Propaganda, but I had never seen anything. I had never seen an impact like a band called the Flatliners when they dropped Cavalcade. Being in the Toronto area, I had never seen anything like it. Everybody had that in their tape decks, man. That was the band at the time. But yeah.
Well, you were even in a band like the ska-core band, like the first Flatliners.
Oh yeah. We were obsessed with that shit. Ska-core, the first record from the Flatliners inspired everything.
You got to tell the story so right now Rica has a broken wrist.
Okay.
So he has a cast. So we actually had to get a fill-in for our last couple shows. Shout out Mitch, great guy from Regal Fowl. Great band from Banff if you're not aware. But years ago, Rica had a broken hand, and he has a funny story.
I was playing in this band in high school, and they were all a lot older than me, and I broke my hand. I got drunk and fell off my bike, and I broke my hand. And we had this this benefit for this kid who had cancer at a local high school, and one of my friends had set it up, and I had just broke my hand before, and I was like 2 weeks in, and the guitar player of the band, he just got he got really mad at me for having the broken hand. He's like, man, you got to play the show. Like, you're really going to let that kid down? You're really going to let that kid down? So we cut the cast off, and I played the show with a broken hand, and I still feel it today. I have big regrets. It was not a good idea.
You didn't let that kid down.
No, we definitely did not let that kid down. I'm not saying we played well, but we didn't let that kid down.
When I was going at Rica with the saw, Nick had to hold me back. Like, no, not this time.
Oh.
Don't let these kids down, Rica.
That's pretty punk rock right there.
I just love that story. You really gonna let this kid down?
Well, what are some so Josh, we'll start with you. What's some of your what kind of things got you playing bass or what? Not bass, but guitar.
Yeah. So, like I said, I grew up in like a small little town in Saskatchewan, and I mean, like in the '90s when punk kind of exploded, it even made its way there. So yeah, I had an older brother, and he had like the punkeramas, and
Yeah.
tales old as time. A million people have told the story about how they got into punk, but
Oh, for sure. But I mean, the '90s punk was it was good stuff.
yeah, 100%. So he would make me tapes, or I'd sneak into his room and play the CD and record the
Yeah.
tape and listen to that. And yeah, I think like the first bands that really resonated with me were like Bad Religion. Like first time I heard those oohs and ahs, I was like, holy shit. Like I didn't understand what it was, like what is that? Like,
Yeah.
so I mean, obviously I still haven't, we tried to do it a little bit with our band, but I still haven't quite figured that out. But yeah, I guess like the main thing was I kind of got away from that punk because it was so, you remember in like the late 90s, early 2000s, it was almost like the good albums, those like the bands weren't really putting out good albums. I don't know. It's like they're almost phoning it in for a bit there. I don't know. It was weird. So I kind of lost interest as listening to other weird stuff. But then in grade 12, I started a band and we're like, oh, let's learn some covers. And then I was like, well, let's learn some Rancid. And then it's like, these songs aren't that hard to play. Like, and then I kind of like fell in love with the music. Like, oh, they're simple, but they're fucking amazing. So after that, that's just kind of what I just kept playing and slowly got better 20 years later.
I mean, sometimes simple is good,
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I love all the technical stuff as well, and a lot of respect for it. We try to incorporate what we can into our music. Like we're not just a 3-chord punk band. I mean, maybe some of the songs, but we try to put in cool stuff.
Yeah.
And if it is simple, we just play it really fast. that's the life hack.
Have you guys ever
sing? There's another trick. Make the song harder.
Were you going to say something, Reiki?
Oh yeah, I was just gonna say that Josh has this really weird style of playing the guitar where he plays like these. I don't even know how to explain the chords. I'm sorry, I don't know the theory behind it. Yeah, it's yeah, exactly. It's very it's interesting. It creates like a cool dynamic. But yeah, his songwriting. I've always just had a super big appreciation for his songwriting. So something different sets it apart.
You crying
more
up there,
than
Josh?
just bar chords. More than just bar chords, this guy.
It is more than just bar chords. Yeah.
Yeah. I can't see you, man. Your head's not in the whole picture.
And now we got Nikki in the band who's always like, you got to add more dissonance. What the fuck does that mean?
He's trying to jazz up our band. He's like,
that's my excuse for hitting wrong notes. That's dissonance. You sound smart.
Yeah,
I do listen to some different stuff here and there, but I've always come back to punk rock. I guess like when I was a kid, like Tony Hawk's Pro Skater soundtracks had a pretty big influence on me, like the first and second mostly, and lots of those games like Guitar Hero even, because I'm a bit younger than Josh, and I wanted to talk a bit too about like the music industry and how that influenced us, because Josh, you were like buying CDs back then and stuff, and my coming of age was like downloading was like like my dad has all the formats in the basement. He's got like the CDs, the tapes, the records, but then he got pumped on like digital downloads, and he's like, oh, showing me the sites. Just don't click on these ones. They're viruses. Just show me what to look for. And
for a fact, Josh was downloading Saint Anger off Napster, though. I guarantee it.
Napster was fucking amazing.
Pirate Bay, LimeWire,
Bear Share, that was another one.
Bear Share,
a bunch of them. But since then, I've gone back and like bought albums that I really like, CDs and records. But that was I just find that fascinating with like different generations growing up with the way they would consume music and the history of all that and how it influenced us ultimately. But,
I've talked about this. It's been mentioned on the podcast several different times because of different ages and stuff. And I'm a little older than you guys, but but you're just talking like physical format. You would either look at the back of the liner notes, and you would learn about, oh, this, they think this band, so you're going to go to the store and check out this band, and or what shirts they're wearing. You're like, oh fuck, they're
Yeah.
wearing a Misfits shirt, I got to check out the Misfits, or what's a Misfit.
You lose some of that magic with just clicking on that song you want or whatever, and you're like, I need to dig deeper,
Yeah.
And because I was from a small town, we didn't have a record store, so I'd have to go to Saskatoon, which was 3 hours drive. So when I did buy a CD, and if I had a Discman at the time, I would listen to it on the drive home. But sometimes I'd have to wait till I get home and pop it in my CD player at home. And then it's like you really wanted to like that CD,
Oh yeah.
You gave it a lot of chances. You're like, something's gonna grip me, and then eventually, if it was just shit, you're like, man. Then you sell it to your little brother at a premium. Try again next time you go to the city.
Yeah, that's too, when I'm listening to, like, say, like a playlist or something, and a song comes on, and I'm like, from listening to the CD so many different times in a row, I want, when that song's over in my head, I'm picturing the next song, and then I'm like, it's not it. So then I'm like, well, looks like I got to go pull this record up real quick and play the whole thing from start to finish.
I saw a thing I was listening to on songs come up on YouTube or whatever, and it was We Threw Gas on the Fire by NoFX, song 1 on Punkorama 3, and then somebody's like, every time I hear this song, and as soon as it ends, I just hear the Doors, Everybody's Girl. Like, it's just like in my brain, like you can't help it, because we all grew up with that CD, and it's like, that was the song that came on next. And then when it doesn't, what the fuck?
Yeah,
those comps are awesome. I remember the store in like Bonnie Doon Mall, this store, they'd have all the like secondhand Punkoramas and the Fat Records comps, and you could just they had most of them there, so I just like bought them all up one day, and was just my drives tuned from the city. I would just like go through them and got really attached to those. They're awesome compilations.
Cool.
I remember on those CDs, I don't know if it's the Fat Records or the Nitro ones, it always said on the bottom, it's like, don't pay more than $5 for this or something. And I remember paying like $20 Canadian. I'm like, go up and be like, hey, and they're like, that's American, don't worry about it. God, screwed by the exchange rate again.
I will say that those comps in the 90s and the video games, man, that got a lot of people into punk rock. Everybody always says, I remember hearing Goldfinger for the first time on Tony Hawk 1, and it changed.
Yeah.
What is it? Adolescent song everybody thought it was Tony Hawk. Tony Hawk.
Yeah. When the first time I ever heard Propagandy, that first album, I thought it was Fat Mike.
I had to clean everything.
Yeah, I thought that was Fat Mike, because he had side projects, and I thought, oh, maybe this is just another side project. It wasn't until like the internet when I got to find out it was a whole different band. So, because I got that album in like '94, and I got a copy on a cassette tape from a friend of mine.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
it definitely had the attitude. It definitely had the attitude. So I could see where it like Fat Mike had that snotty voice at that time. So and Propagandy had the same sound.
And
but they had what's his name on it singing as well, John K. Sampson from the Weaker Thans, and it was like such a different dynamic. Like he was like a soft singer comparatively to Chris Hanna. Right?
I was surprised by that album. I actually slept on that one for a while. I only knew supporting cast for the longest time. My friends, like, that was another big influence, just like sharing all this with your friends and stuff. And my older brother and his friends, like, a lot of that influenced me with different music I'd get into. But I never heard How to Clean Everything until long after I heard supporting cast and some of the albums before that one. And then I was like, oh, their first album, I didn't even, and I was like, this is not even the same, like, not even close to what they are in supporting cast, but I like it all. Like, it's all cool to me. And
I'm pretty sure they're metalheads. Like,
oh yeah,
they love all the old '80s thrash and stuff. Like that's what
so many good thrashy riffs. And
I got to see them in '95, I think it was. They played in Nashville. Fucking great show.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So, Reiki, what were you into? What were you into?
Growing up,
Yeah.
oh man, I went through a spiral of stuff. But getting into drums, dad was making me mixtapes when I was growing up. He's
Frank
loaded
Zappa.
full of like blacks. Yeah, there was Zappa on there for sure. There was Zappa on there, and Black Sabbath and Deep Purple and Genesis, and so he was like getting me into all these drummers, and you'd always have video, like the DVDs, the live videos of the drummers, right?
Okay.
And so I just sit there with like pots and pans and fucking buckets and just start whacking along to them, watching, Phil Collins go at it. And so that's where I started. And then as I got older, started getting into the metalcore, Slipknot and stuff like that. And then late elementary school, I guess I met a dude with a mohawk wearing a NoFX shirt and changed my life forever. So that's where we are. It's been punk ever since, punk and hardcore ever since.
And 2 weeks later, he cut his cast off with his scissors.
Yeah,
There he goes.
I remember meeting him too. I was at like a 24-hour fast, like supporting hunger, like world hunger and stuff like that. And I was playing in like a death metal band at the time, doing the double kick stuff, and they were playing. The band that I would eventually join were playing, and I was like, these guys are cool, man. Holy shit, they're fast. And I was just like, I don't like death metal anymore. I can go away.
Now, do you add any of that flavor to the Trash Ambulance sound?
Like double kick stuff? No.
Yeah.
So again, this guy that made me cut my cast off, he was a real character, but he got mad at me because I was trying to do. I heard White Trash by NoFX, and I was like, that's 1 foot. Like, there's no way that Smelly's doing that with 1 foot, right?
Uh-huh.
And so I'm doing it all. I'm doing all that stuff with double kicks because I can't do the 1 foot thing. Well, he grabs the other half of my double kick and he throws it in a fucking trash bag and brings it out to his car, and he's like, you're gonna learn how to do it with one. And I was like, oh, okay. And so I've been an elitist ever since.
All right. Yeah.
But to be fair, he does like doing annoying blast beats and stuff just to piss me off at practice. So he's lying that he doesn't ever bring that back.
Well,
that's not in the
hardcore
the
influence, right? A lot of those hardcore bands, like you hear bands like Terror, like they're doing blast beats with 1 foot, and you're like, holy shit, that's crazy. So
yeah, good old Terror.
Yeah, I love the drumming on Split the Difference, man. That's wild. That's some fast, like heavy hitting drums. I like that one.
thanks, man. That song's hard as fuck to play. That was Josh. That was me, Josh, and Ozone trying to embody like those more techie bands like Cigar. Mm-hmm. We just really wanted to have something that was just fast and punchy and has stops and starts, and yeah, it was pretty cool, like writing that song. But it is very hard to play.
Yeah, like when I was learning all the material, just few months ago back in the summer, and then that single came out, and I was still like in the thick of it with all the material. I was like, oh, I gotta learn this one now too. Shit, this is a heavy hitter, but I like all this stuff enough that I don't care that I have to listen to it over and over again. Like it hasn't gotten old to me because I enjoy it. It's interesting, stays interesting. It's not just like silly songs or anything.
Do you guys record your own stuff, or do you guys have a studio you guys frequent?
So the very first couple albums before these guys were around, we did do them in my basement. I just got a little studio, but now that I have 2 kids and had to move the spare beds down to where we used to practice, so I don't have access to that. And I don't know. I kind of like we actually work with a good friend, a Nick's, a couple albums, and the last one we did was with Casey from Belvedere, like our Future Considerations record. He produced that for us, and it was a really good experience for us. Like he really helped us bring our songs to like another level that we didn't know we could reach. So So we do all the demos like I do them in my basement and stuff, and still waiting for Riley to hook up his drums to record his own drum demos. But we'll wait a little bit longer, I guess, till the cast comes off. But yeah, so I personally enjoy having the producer like that. I think it's having somebody that understands the genre to like help you see things that you might not have came up with on your own, because kind of get tunnel vision when you've been playing the song exactly like this. You have like I have it in my head how it should be, but when somebody else comes to you with a cooler idea, it's like, yeah, let's do that. That's great.
Yeah. That's one thing when my band recorded always, it's always like, all right, we got to find someone that knows the style that we're doing so they know what's up. Because there's a lot of great recording studios in this area, but it's all about finding the right person that knows what's up. Because I don't want some dude that's only worked with pop music and then he's trying to do, he's not going to know what you know about or that sound. So
yeah, and Casey gets it 100%. Like he's drums in Belvedere, and he's one of the best drummers going in punk rock. So he gets it. So we enjoy working with him. But yeah, shout out to Cody at Half Stack Studios in Edmonton. He's no slouch either. So we're lucky we have. Yeah, we got a couple guys that we can work with that are awesome to work with, and yeah, it just all depends who's available too, because Casey tours a lot with Belvedere. So yeah.
Anything in the works? Coming out? Any new material you're working on?
We are, yeah. I think we got like 7 or 8 demos, probably like 5 that we're happy with that we could probably play live once Reiki's back healthy here. And then just a few, like we just haven't been able to jam much because Riley's healing. So once he's back, I'm sure he's going to be just raring to go and get after it. So but yeah, with all of us living in different cities now, we don't get to jam as much as we used to. So, but we all practice on our own and stuff. I think we'll hit the ground running here in the spring for sure, and hopefully we get a new record recorded at the end of the year or something. If we can scrounge up enough pennies, that's the goal, anyways.
Yeah. Have you guys ever played the States?
I haven't. No,
I have not.
It's to do it legally, like above board, is actually quite costly for a small band like us, right? That's not going to have a guarantee when we get over there. We'd have to try to hang out for like a month to try to get our money back. But I've heard horror stories of bands, sneaking over the border and then getting busted and banned from the country. If I couldn't take my daughter to Disneyland when she gets older, and that's banned from the country. You needed to go play for 6 people in Seattle.
Right.
Well, we would love to. Yeah. Maybe not right now, but once shit settles down.
Yeah.
We'll let Bad Religion and Propaganda to handle that one, right? keep it off the podcast.
There you go. Yeah.
We're aware of it, but we won't comment on it.
Yeah, exactly. What's one of the bigger shows you guys have played?
What do you think, Rica? So we got to play. There's a cool festival. It's short-lived. They only did it for a couple of years. It was called Super Friendly Fest. So we got to open that. So there's only a couple hundred people when we did, but by the end of it, Pop was the headliner and Face to Face. There's a shit ton of good bands actually. So we got to play that. That was a rad one. Yeah, No Trigger. We were stoked. So now we just tell everyone we open for Pop, even though like we played at like 1:00 and they played at like midnight. But
that was the last show I saw of Trash before I joined, and we like made it a mission to get there. I think you guys played at like 11 in the morning or 10:30.
No, it was like 12:30 or 1 or something.
12:30. Oh. Yeah, no, there's a lot of bands to get through that day. There was like 10 band festival, they call festivals now. One days with just a bunch of bands, but I'm into it. Cool.
Yeah, then we've just got to open for some cool bands, like got to play with Lagwagon, which is a huge one for us. Obviously our heroes. And who else did we play with? Good Riddance, Face to Face, twice, I guess.
Mad Caddies against
Mad Caddies
not against all 30. Yeah,
30-0.
Yeah.
Wow, nice.
Teenage Bottle Rocket. So
I don't even
Then
I don't
we've-
even really like look at like those shows. Those shows are cool, but to me, like the bigger shows are some of the more intimate ones we played overseas. Like those, some of those were the last show we played in Japan in Tokyo was. It was a whole different feeling, man. That was just an unbelievable show.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, what? Japan?
Yeah. We-
Yeah.
so we haven't played America, but we played Costa Rica 2 years ago and Japan last year. So we
How the fuck did you pull that off?
sent an email. The dude said, "Oh, I like your band. This is what it's going to cost if you guys want to come over here." And we said, "Give us a minute." I played some shows, made some money, and we did it.
Because I saw there's this band that's out of Florida that just picked up, and they haven't even been a band a full year, and they've already played Puerto Rico. And I was just like, damn, that ain't cheap just to fly over to Puerto Rico, you know? But they did it, and
We did, yeah, we did Costa Rica as well. So yeah, we got our Latin American flavor, and then I went over to Asia. I don't know.
What
We
was
just
that?
we're very driven, and the guy, yeah, Nick's predecessor was like the numbers guy, so he's like, "Hey, we got to do this." So
We're
Nick,
also
yeah, by
very
the way,
frugal. Like that's something we got going for us. Like you see a lot of, I don't want to say a lot of bands, but you take notice of the guys who are just like, oh yeah, we got paid $250. Let's put it in a cup, put it into some beers, yeah, or put it up your nose or whatever. But like we're just not like that. It's always just like, oh, let's
use your own money.
Yeah, exactly. Let's pool all this money, play a whole bunch of shows, and work really, really hard, and then see where we're at the next year and see if we can do something cool. And that's just how it's always been, and it's definitely been like an upgrade compared to some other bands I've been in. So it definitely keeps me coming back and keeps me excited because you never know what we're gonna do. Like Josh could just come up with an idea one time and he's like, "Yeah, we're going to Australia." It's like, all right, man, let's go.
Well, we've been doing this for long enough. I'm not trying to say like we're a big band or anything, like but enough people in the scene know us from all over the world. So you talk to people. Well, you guys should come play Sweden. It's like, give us a bit, we will make this happen.
Yeah.
So right now it's just like, okay, where do we want to go? What actually makes sense? What's not going to cost $20,000 to go? Like,
well, for instance, how did you guys enjoy playing Japan? How was the crowds there?
it was really strange, wasn't it, Ricky? Like, so the cool thing about Japan is he brought your breakables. I brought my guitar, the tuner. I didn't even bring a tuner. I borrowed a tuner, but they supply like the complete backline, like full kit, aside from the cymbals and stuff, and then the head, cab, everything. For you kind of tell them what you want, and then they'll either have exactly what you want sitting on the stage when you get there, or it's like close enough. Like I pretty much had a exact Marshall amp that I have at home was there for me.
And this is
like,
every venue. This is every venue. It's not just like
so
one. Like every venue we went to, it was the same thing. And there was like before every show, there was a meet and greet with the sound guy at a very particular time, and you had to sign a form with like how many songs and how long your set's going to be. It was just like everything was just so organized to the second. And I was like,
and like two techs on the stage helping, and like,
wow.
And also, maybe 1 out of every 50 people involved in all this could speak English. So it's like, but shout out to Akira. I think he changed the name of his company. It was Pound Foolish, but now I think it's Punk Rock Heartbeat. He plays in a band called Stone Leak. And then he actually plays in a Canadian band too. What are they called, Ricky? Do you remember? Okay.
Oh, I don't remember. They're from Quebec.
Toronto. Anyways, so he's who I was talking to. So he was like, over text, he's like, my English is not very good, so please, talk slowly. And his English was great. Like but lots of the guys in his band, they didn't know a word.
Yeah.
But it was cool. But it was like going back to the nobody speaks English. It's so, in America or Canada, you finish your set and you make some jokes, you talk. But like I would say something and then you could just see by the crowd, they're like, no fucking idea what I said. Just like, And they didn't really clap after a song. Hey, Reiki, it just like dead silence, and it's like,
Well, because they were waiting for you to
yeah,
invite them. The
I don't
culture
know,
is
it
like
was-
it's very respect driven over there, right? So
Yeah.
everybody's like they wait for an invitation to clap. They don't just start clapping, and they don't interrupt you during your set. So like you'll be playing and they're not being interruptive or anything like that. And then there's
Wow.
like some other bands though, they actually have like stage dance routines, and you watch some of the kids in the crowd, they know the dance routines and they're dancing with them, and I'm just like, this is like this is a whole different world that we're in right now.
The only thing I didn't like is that they allowed cigarettes to be smoked in the green room, so everyone was just chain smoking. I was just like, because I got kind of like, I had a cold right before we left, and I was just getting better, and then after like 3 or 4 days of partying and everyone's smoking, I was like, so I ended up kind of losing my voice for the second last show. And that was definitely our worst show, maybe our worst show ever. Like, because Reiki and Ozone kind of pick up the slack, and then they like go to me later, like, we don't actually know what you sing for like most of our songs. So we had a GoPro that we recorded every single set, the side stage or whatever. And like Ozone, our old bass player, watched that set, and he was like, yeah, like I just wanted to see, like it couldn't have been as bad as I thought. He's like, yeah, that's never seen the light of day. That's never seen the light of day. But then the next show was.
It sucked even more because we had some peers there from the label, the record label that we're on, and we were just like, "Oh man, why did it have to be that show?" Because their band is sick, like their band is crazy good, and we're just like, we want to be really good tonight, and then I don't know, it happens.
Though. But it was a great night, and then the next day is the show he was talking about, where it's like another cool thing is like they know your audience, so like when we go over there, we're not playing the same venues as Strung Out or.
Okay.
Although we did see their name written on. So that was
we did play the same venue as Strung Out. That's a bad example.
Yeah, we did. But for the most part, right? Like they were like, like, so if there was like 60, 70 people in there, it felt like a full club. Like they did it good that way. So that way it was, because like every show they seemed to have like 6 bands on the bill. So it was like just right there's like 20 some people, right? So
yeah, I mean, that's
it's
what
just
I look
cool,
at it like that.
Good energy.
Yeah.
When you guys are playing, though, are they moving or are they just standing there watching you guys?
Depended on the show. A few of them there was like people really into it. There's a guy that I don't know how he knew us, but he like knew like great English. Remember that, Reiki? The place where there was a record store.
He went to school in Ontario.
Oh, right. And he spent some time in Banff and stuff.
Ontario. Yeah. And then so he had like impeccable English, and he was like, he like messed with us. I don't know. It was really interesting, but he was talking about how he likes American TV shows, and
right. He's like, I like One Piece. He's like, I don't watch that shit. I like Family Guy.
yeah, exactly. It's like I'm over here. I'm like, oh yeah, I like anime. I like One Piece. And he's like, I don't
That's
like
shit,
that.
Man. He's like, I like Hobo with a shotgun. You're like, oh.
Yeah.
He's like, there's finally a guy who can talk about my nerdy Japanese stuff, and he fucking has no interest at all. But he was so stoked, man. He like mosh. He was like crowd surfing. It was like, this guy rules.
Yeah. There was some movement. There was but we played one weird show. I think it was Osaka, where it was kind of a mixed bill, and there was like a beat down hardcore metalcore band that closed out the night or whatever, or right before Stone Leak played, and most of the crowd was there for them, and they
Launcher number 8.
Yeah, they were crazy heavy, and so you saw all these hardcore kids doing the hardcore dancing where they're swinging their arms around and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then when we're playing, like they're bobbing their head, but I don't know if they were super into it.
No, they were all smiling, and like it just. They didn't know the songs, and they're like, "Oh, we're gonna play a cover." We like play Face to Face. They're just like, no fucking idea what it was.
No fucking idea. Didn't have enough breakdowns, or they were waiting for the breakdown that never came.
Never came.
I know sometimes in states, at least I know, when a band comes on, and if you don't like the band, people go outside. Do they do that over there in Japan? Do they go outside if they don't like the band, or they sit there and watch still, regardless?
No, it was very
I think-
it was very respectful. And nobody ever really did that. And as soon as a
Oh,
band started playing, everybody would come out into the little hallway and they'd be like, "Oh, band's playing," and
Oh,
then everybody
yeah.
would like file
When-
in. So
Like you could bring your own beer into the green room where the bands hung out, but they
Uh-huh.
just asked like if you're gonna be drinking outside, like watching the bands, then you buy it. Like don't bring your beer from the back out. Like that was the only rule they really had, and obviously we respected that. But even for us, like in between bands, you know, me and Riley doesn't drink; he's straight edge. But me and Ozone would go and pound a beer, and then when we'd hear the band start, we'd run out. We make sure we caught everything because like, when are we ever going to see these bands again? You know, like,
Yeah,
I want to
for
fucking
sure.
experience this.
and there were some amazing bands, unbelievably tight.
Or like, because I think every show except the one in maybe not Osaka, Kyoto, we played last. So we're like, we
Yeah.
had to follow this fucking every time. We're like, what? I do not.
Oh,
want to
thank
follow
God we
these
didn't have
fuckers.
to follow the bands in Kyoto. Holy
Oh man,
fuck! What was that one band? What
The
were they
Cry.
called? The Cry. Oh my God! If you
They
ever
were
get a chance,
amazing.
look up The Cry from Japan. They're absolutely insane.
Okay.
Yeah.
What kind of music is that?
melodic.
It's like
skate
techie
punk.
skate punk. Yeah, techie melodic
right.
skate punk. Really, really good.
I wrote that down. It's crazy because like to see that every country, every city has like they have punk rock all over the world. You know, it's just and they mimic the states. They dress and look just like everybody. You know, it's like when I lived in Germany back in the 80s. It's like, man, they would look at our clothes and they would try to ask us, because at the time, you know, this is before the internet, obviously, so you can just order it offline. They would give you money to go buy them clothes on the base and then go back outside and then you give it to them, you know. It's like they wanted the new fashion, you know. So what about Costa Rica? How was that tour?
Sorry, we're just like completely excluding Nick here. He wasn't in the band yet.
Oh,
Sorry.
no, my bad. All right, Nick, my bad.
No, we'll be
I
quick
love
about this
these
one.
stories.
It was
I
awesome.
love the stories. It's all good.
It was super rad too. So shout out to Diego from Punk Rock Mag,
Diego's Crater.
Sebas, Salvador, and Marconi from Altercados. They were so we just did 3 shows down there. I think we went for 5 days. So the first show we get down there, because we have a song. It's kind of like a duet that we do. It's called "Stalk in the Park." I don't know if you're familiar. It's a pretty funny music video cartoon that we had made. So check it out if you haven't seen it.
I haven't seen that yet, but
We had they just said, "Oh, we have this girl that would sing because there's it's me going back and forth. It's like not like
I think I saw the video of that on YouTube. I watched that video.
Yeah, it's funny as fuck.
Yeah.
And anyway, so she's like, this person, they were like, oh, we got this girl that's going to sing this song with you if you want. So we got there, we rented a little spot so we could jam and like practice the songs, and she would practice singing just so we at least had a little bit of practice before we did it live. And so she hung out with us all weekend. We did 3 shows, like San Jose and then kind of like the suburbs of it. And yeah, the one show we did, Reiki, was like on the side of a mountain, like outside. It was fucking so rad.
Yeah, it
Like
was
if you fell off a cliff, if you like slipped off the like obviously there's
like
a wall, but like
yeah, it was like a balcony that was hanging off of, it was on the side of a mountain, and there was like a balcony where the drums were, so my back was to the side of this mountain, and it was just like it was on these stilts, and so the drum kit was on this platform on this balcony, and every time the crowd would like be jumping or moving, it felt like the balcony was going to collapse. So I'm just playing and I'm just like, I'm going to fucking die today. Like I'm not going to survive this. But that was a surreal, surreal.
We did the whole, I mean, people were enjoying our music, like our originals, but we did the cheap moves of like, we played like face to face or no effects, just to like, I think we do like throw 2 on each set, and like those guys knew those songs well. And that was one of the times, right? He's talking about like, there's pictures and videos of it. There's like 30 fucking dudes and women on the stage. You probably see that fear in their eyes, like, are we gonna fucking collapse? But it was pretty cool. I mean, it's a cheap move when it's a cheap move when it's not your song, but maybe next time we go back, they'll be singing our song. But it's funny you were talking about they all want to be USA, because there was this guy, they called him Reverse. That's his nickname, I guess. He was just a wasted, and he just kept like getting up in her face, and he'd go, "Fuck the USA," and we're like, "All right, bud, we're from Canada."
Yeah.
And then like months later, our buddy Diego sent me a picture of that guy wearing a. Oh, another funny part about that trip is we surprised Reiki. We didn't tell him we had a bunch of shirts made down there of just his face with like trash ambulance, and then it's just Reiki's face, like a cartoon drawing of him. So that's the shirts we sold while we were down there. So he gets down there. He's never met Diego from Punk Rock Meg in his life. And he comes out, he's like, "Hey guys," like giving us hugs. And Riley just like looks at him and he's like, "What the fuck?" Dude, there's a video of that. Dude. He's never met this guy in his life, and he's wearing a fucking shirt with his own face on it. It's pretty hilarious. But yeah, and then he sent me a picture of that reverse guy that was yelling "Fuck the USA." He's wearing the Reiki shirt, just out in Costa Rica, just out living his life.
Now,
that was rad.
Well, that's funny, man. You need to remake them. They'll be hot sellers again.
I think it's a one and done.
Yeah. But. Oh yeah, of course. Nick, tell me about yourself, man. What do
you want to hear?
I had to stalk you guys. I had to stalk you guys for a little bit. How long you been skating for, Nick?
I've been skating for 21, almost 22 years.
Wow.
But our seasons are pretty short for it here. So I also snowboard.
Okay.
Probably going to go snowboarding tomorrow. We live pretty close to Marmot Basin and Jasper, just outside of Jasper. So it takes about an hour to drive up there. It's great hill. But yeah, that's definitely been a big part of like my love for fast-paced music in general and just shit that gets your blood pumping, Like when I was a kid, I definitely went through the new metal phase. I can't say I listen to a lot of new metal now, but there was a time where, it got me stoked, among other things. Like I definitely listened to a lot of Korn and
yeah. I was going to say, could you listen to Korn?
Yeah. Everybody's got a soft spot for the Limpy Biscuits, Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they made a research over the COVID break. Now they went from opening shows to headlining festivals. Nuts.
Yeah, you'd act like you didn't think they were cool, but you're like, break stuff would come on. You're just like, yeah, this is doing something to me. Yeah, I definitely listened to a lot of metal. I was in a metal band at one time playing a 5-string bass, and I realized I don't need a 5-string bass. 4 strings is plenty, I don't know, just trying different things. And but yeah, those are like my main pillars, I guess, and my things I like to do is just play music, listen to music, and skate and snowboard.
If you're when you're snowboarding, what are you listening to?
Much the same kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Lots of punk rock, lots of fast-paced stuff. I love the Flatliners. I'm glad Reiki brought that up. They definitely were a big influence for me and a lot of my friends. Like they were always playing. I remember this guy that lived close to us. So I grew up in like a cul-de-sac, couple blocks from where I live here, and we had a lot of friends in the area. And there was this guy from Ottawa who he was like much older than us, but he was a little bit like, I guess, kind of slow. Like he would hang out with us, and it was normal. Like this older guy, he was like 20, 25 or so, hanging with a bunch of kids. But he showed us so many cool bands then. Like he got us introduced to like AFI and like the Creep Show, and I think he knew them personally. And yeah, just he always had cool bands to show us and like CDs and stuff, and just cool different influences that I got exposed to early on, and just kept diving into stuff. And I've it's been just digging up lots of music that I may have slept on, or just stuff that gets me fired up.
Talk about sleeping on bands, man. There's still bands that I pull up to this day. I'm like, man, why did I sleep on this band for so many damn years? Like, what obviously, I mean, we all stream. What do y'all use for streaming?
Spotify.
Yeah.
Spotify,
So like,
usually.
Same thing. Like I've been using Spotify since they launched it, and there wasn't a whole lot of shit on there at the time, but now since it's been like almost 20 years I don't even think it's been that long. I think it's been like 14 years. It's been around 15 years or something. Anyway, you go down them rabbit holes when you find a band, you start listening to something, and then at the very bottom be like, I was like, man, I've heard this name for so many years, and I'll listen to it. I'm like, what was I thinking, man? Because there's a lot of great music out there. That's why I don't like when I hear people say, and there's nothing new out there. There's always new music out there. You you have to look for it,
Yeah, you're not looking in the right holes.
No, for sure.
I've only had Spotify for I think like 6 years, but it's opened up a lot of different alleys of things and like different veins that I would have never maybe stumbled upon. Like before that, I have like this huge iPod. I would just have like all this stuff downloaded that I'd go through and make playlists on, and eventually you hit a plateau with that thing and you're just like, okay, this old playlist again for going to the hill or whatever. And yeah, Spotify, it's definitely shows you a lot of stuff you may not have.
Oh yeah, I enjoy it. I don't mind it. I mean, if people crap on it, I mean, I crap on it too, but it is what it is. Nick, is there any Bryan Adams on your playlist?
Any Bryan Adams? Not particularly, but I was in this band called Not Even, and we have this song called Brian Jovi. That was my mom's favorite song because it's like a mid-tempo and it talks about like Bon Jovi and Bryan Adams and just how excited it makes you. But the lyrics are hilarious. That our singer had a good take on lyrics and the way he would deliver them, and yeah, that was a fun project.
I mean, Bryan Adams has written for a lot of fucking people. It's insane, man. He wrote songs for Kiss. He's wrote songs for, that's all I can think of at the top of my head. But I know there's a lot more out there.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he did. He wrote some, yeah, and I even think there's like not Panic at the Disco, but a band in that era that he wrote songs for as well too. Yeah, if you look up the stuff that he wrote for, I don't know if it was Paul Alba, but it was something like, I can't remember the name, but the list of songs that he's written for people, it's just like, wow. I guess he was a ghostwriter while he was still being Bryan Adams.
Busy,
crazy.
Huh? I'm gonna have to look into that after this.
Yeah. Cool. I forgot what podcast I listened to recently, and they were like Bryan Adams, and I was like, oh shit. And I have the link saved on my phone, so I sent them that link, and then they were like, we didn't believe it either. And I was like, no, dude, Bryan Adams does some shit.
Today I learned.
Yeah, me too. That's cool.
So, what about, let's see, I'm gonna name. Do you guys like the Comeback Kid?
A little bit. I think that's more Brikey's alley.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love hardcore, man. Comeback Kid. I saw them a couple years ago with Misery Signals and Cancer Bats, and I had never seen a crowd explode like anything before that. He was, their vocalist just got up and was just like, we're going to make this triple X rated. Everybody stand on one side or the other of this room, and we're going to make it fucking explode. And one of my drunk friends is just kind of wandering in the middle of the crowd, and you see my other buddy just grab her right before everybody just starts destroying each other. It was hilarious.
It's always funny seeing the stragglers in like an impending wall of death, and you're just like, what are you doing? Pick a side.
Yeah. It was wild.
Yeah.
Comeback Kid rules. That band rules.
Yeah, I've seen them several different times. Actually, they're playing in Nashville next month, I believe, on their 20th anniversary tour. Cancer Bats are good. I played with them here in my little small town. I booked them here with a band called Ringworm.
Oh yeah,
Ringworm.
Yeah. I booked them.
Cool name.
But yeah, yeah. Ringworm's from actually Ringworm shares members from Terror and Hatebreed too from over the years.
Oh,
Ringworm's been around since like the 90s. Hardcore band from Cleveland, Ohio.
Sick.
I like it.
But Anywho, so what's in the future for you guys besides getting Rikey's cast off?
Future considerations. Yeah.
We got some shows like around Alberta. Nick's just keeps getting us to play his hometown. But there's like a lot of there's a lot of bored people that have money burning holes in their pockets, so the merch just flies. So you won't hear us complaining. So you got a couple things like that. Like I said, we played like this is in the past, like last without Reiki. Well, he came and sang backups, which is he was very awkward about it. He felt awkward, but he's at least got to be a part of it. But yeah, we played this cool like music festival in there's this place called Drumheller. It's like they found like a shit ton of dinosaur bones there, so like the whole town is like dino themed. There's just dinosaurs everywhere. Okay. But it's fucking cold, but it was still like they kind of did all kinds of different genres, but like we played a sandwich shop, and that's where kind of like all the punk bands played, and it was pretty cool, man. Like I was very impressed for a Drumheller festival. And then we opened for B.A. Johnson. I don't know if you've heard of him, but he's a hoot. He's from Hamilton, Ontario. But yeah, the big thing we got this year that we could talk about is we're going to play that Music for Cancer. It's like a big festival in Quebec, not quite Montreal, one of those suburbs of Montreal or whatever. And so, I mean, technically we're playing like kind of like an after party thing. So it's not like we're playing and then Pennywise is coming right up, but we're part of that. We're on the poster, so we're counting it. And then we're going to do a short run, probably like 4 or 5 shows over out there just to make it worth our while. Cause we haven't been out there since like 2017. Well, these guys, Nick might have to work, so he might not get to come. That's why he's looking all sad over there. He doesn't know yet, but
yeah.
But yeah, that's the one thing we're stoked on. And then we're probably going to go a couple shows in BC. And I don't know, we're not crossing the pond this year, but Quebec will be a cool one for us because we haven't been out there in a while.
Yeah, you can just do like a full run just in Canada alone, huh? It's like Texas. You can just do a full run in Texas for 2 weeks and you can hit all the spots, you know?
Yeah.
It's interesting. There's a lot of dead space actually in Canada.
Cover some ground, yeah.
I did see it. Go ahead.
I'm just saying, like, to be honest,
We're
Alberta
geographically challenged a little bit.
Alberta, there is a lot of cool places to play. We're lucky, and like people have a little bit more money around here, so they buy merch, which is cool because sometimes you go tour BC and people will come to the show. The shows will be great, but it's like, oh, I've got no money to buy merch. So we're cool that way. But yeah, if you want to start driving east, there's like you got Saskatoon, Regina, then it's like drive for like 8 hours, you get Winnipeg, and then it's like 12 hours to Thunder Bay. Like there's a lot of dead in that central areas. Like there's not a lot going on. So in that respect, but then as soon as you get to Ontario, Quebec, it's like, well, Quebec's like punk rock mecca. Like it's, you know, it's insane how many amazing festivals they have like all year round. Every weekend there seems to be. It's like, oh, Rancid's playing there, Red Religion's playing there, headlining some festival I've never heard of.
I did see where Steel Panther is doing a 23-date Canadian tour.
Wow. I mean, it's done.
And they're playing at Beau's Bar in Red Deer.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. We've played there many times. That's where Punksgiving was. Where we opened for Mad Caddies and Face Lagwagon.
Hey, if there's 30 bands on the bill and the headline and you play second from the beginning and there's a big artist on the bill, you open the show.
Hey man, we always claim that. I'll never not claim that.
I mean,
they played in the same city as us. I'm counting.
we were at a different venue, but you know, exactly.
Yeah. If anybody looks, they're gonna see that frickin' Rancid was playing Calgary. We played. They don't need. I
always have respect for bands that want to do the full Canadian stretch. You know, it seems not that I've done it, but it seems very enduring to go from like coast to coast in Canada and mostly driving. Miles. Like that's a stretch.
And then they do it in the winter. It's like you guys are friggin' crazy.
Yeah, what can go wrong?
I mean, do you guys' winters the same time as our winters, right?
Yeah, generally.
Yeah.
Generally.
Usually, like November to March is pretty cold.
Yeah,
but it's been pretty sporadic. Like we didn't really get cold until like February. Then all of a sudden it was like -40 with the wind chill for like fucking 3 weeks. And then now we're at +5 Celsius and it's like t-shirt weather. Like we're all walking around in shorts and like it's loving life. It's crazy.
They freak out down here. We had gotten some snow and
Saw that.
the whole town just shuts down, but then by noon it's good. It's like,
Yeah.
I mean, we got 3 inches and people were freaking out.
You're not ready for it, man. It throws everyone off.
We haven't gotten like a big dump of snow this year. Like we got quite a bit of snow. A lot of it's melted now, but like it was just like every day it would snow a little bit for like a month. So, but out east they got like the crazy blizzard where it's like they got like 12 inches or whatever. It's just brutal.
Yeah,
it's really destructive.
They can't like drive their car for like a week because it's just completely buried, and
you gotta just wait till you get dug out of there.
Or wait, yeah.
I always see the pictures of people like that live in New York or in Chicago where you didn't wake up, they open the front door and you can't see anybody's car because they're all bare. I'm just like, I would hate to live that life, but you guys deal with it. I respect you guys for living where you live. I like I said, I moved to the South and I was expecting snow all the time, and no, we just get crap. We get ice and a dusting, really, But yeah, it's all right. I'm from Cali originally, so I don't deal with the snow.
Yeah.
Try to make the most of it. There's lots of hockey out, like outdoor rink style hockey, and which is tough when the weather's like this, where it's sporadic and then the pond melts like right away, and you're just like, there goes.
Do you guys all play hockey?
I don't really.
20
I dabble.
Yeah,
lots of my friends do, but yeah, not so much.
A friend of the band, his truck went through the ice. Like
shit.
He was ice fishing and I don't know. I won't sue him about what happened, but he was out on the ice and his truck went through, and he's lucky that he didn't fucking drown.
Wow, that's insane.
Yeah.
Well, guys, I mean, you guys got anything else you want to chit chat about? What you guys? Oh, here we go. I'm gonna ask you guys. I mean, each one of y'all. Josh, what's your all-time favorite movie?
Oh, that's crazy.
We're gonna break it down to just comedy.
Oh, comedy?
Yeah, we'll go comedy.
What? For nostalgic purposes, just because me and my brother watched it a million times as kids, it would be, and it doesn't seem to get the love that a lot of other movies from that era get, is Almost Heroes. You ever see that one with Chris Farley where he's like an explorer?
Oh yes,
with Matthew Perry. There's so many amazing quotes in it, like sniffing the fucking buffalo shit. It's like the buffalo are near.
Yeah.
It's like, you can tell that by smelling it's dropping. It's like, no, the herd's right there. Like there's non-stop jokes like that. Like we quote that forever. Was that his last movie?
Was that Chris Farley's last movie?
I think it was his last starring role, and then he was in something else like Dirty Work or something. It was like the last movie he appeared in, which I also love. Pretty much all those.
That's a
SNL
great
I
movie.
love. Yeah, I was a big Norm Macdonald fan.
Oh yeah, that was great. Great. How about you, Nick?
I'm trying to think. I'm going back to like movies I might have liked a lot when I was a kid. VHS movies. I don't know. There's this one. You got like the Little Rascals. There's this like later movie called Slappy and the Stinkers. It's like these kids that get together to try to like save a seal. It's kind of like Free Willy meets.
That's your favorite comedy movie?
that's
How
the
old
first
are
one that comes to mind.
You've been pushing that.
It's like a mixture between like Free Willy and Little Rascals, but instead of a whale, it's a seal. Yeah.
Come on.
Check it out.
All right, Mikey, let's follow that, Slappy. That's your new nickname.
I actually know what my genuine favorite movie of all time is. It's Full Metal Jacket. Really, honestly, anything from Stanley Kubrick, I love. But if we're talking comedies, I like. Honestly, it's hard to pick, but I like anything Monty Python just makes me laugh hysterically, and then anything with Will Ferrell in it, I'll just die of laughter. So you could just put those all into one package, and that's all my favorite.
Will's classic, man. I watched was it last week or the week before last, the 50th anniversary episode that came on Sunday of SNL, and he was on there,
Yeah.
and yeah, he did not disappoint.
Nah, dude's hysterical. He is so fucking funny, man.
Oh yeah. What's your favorite Will Ferrell movie?
So this might be controversial, but my favorite Will Ferrell movie is Elf. It just has to be
You
Elf.
are hey, you know what? Fuck the
It
rest
just
of your
has to be Elf.
hey, fuck the rest of your band, dude. So anyway, no. That's my that's my favorite.
I'd have
That's
to
my
go with
favorite
Step
Will movie.
Brothers. I think if Elf
Anchorman.
is good, but Step Brothers pretty.
Step
brilliant.
Brothers and Anchorman are amazing movies, but yeah, Elf is just it feels good and it's just really dumb fun, and yeah, that's my favorite one.
I watch it. You know, everyone watches. A lot of people watch a Christmas Story. You know, for
Oh yeah, that's my favorite.
I watch Elf. Like I watch Elf on repeat. But yeah.
Yeah, every Christmas it's Elf, like not once, usually like 2 or 3 times, and then I gotta make her watch A Christmas Story, and then she's like, "This is dumb. Let's watch Elf." I'm like, you don't get it. Like I don't know. I watched it more growing up, and it's just like a no-brainer to watch A Christmas Story.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's funny because like that movie came out in the 80s, right? And when you watch it though, you felt like it actually came out in the 50s because it's the way they shot it. And I was like, holy shit, that movie actually came out in the 80s. And I watched the new one that it came out, and that was all right. Nah, I mean they tried. I'll give it to them. They tried. You know, wasn't the same. But anyway, well, gentlemen. It's been,
I do got some shout outs if you're
give some shout outs.
Yeah, I guess I'd be remiss if we didn't shout out Thousand Islands Records, who we are currently signed to. They've been awesome to us. They're the ones that every time we go out east, they're the ones that take care of us, let us crash at their place.
Where are they based out of?
Just outside of Montreal. Okay. So like a suburb. So they might not want to say they're from Montreal, but close enough.
Yeah.
And yeah, they've been awesome to us, and yeah, we're looking forward to. I haven't seen them in a bit. They used to come out once a year and come to one of our shows and hang out, but I haven't seen them in a while because they have California bands on the label now, and I'm like, well, why are you going to Los Angeles to go to pool parties with Chaser when you could come to Red Deer and hang out in Red Deer? Like, seems like a no-brainer.
I heard you talking like you guys are talking about that on the Chaser episode.
All right, yeah, he's laughing, and same with yeah, I guess so. Yeah, shout out to them. Love them. And then me and Ozone, the old bass player, we run a little record label called High End Denim Records. Lots of rad bands from Alberta and actually all over the world. We got. I don't want to shout out because then I'll forget one and then I'll feel bad. But yeah, we mentioned Regal Fowl earlier. Upside Down Man is on it. They're fucking rad. Let's Go. Bunch of cool bands. Just name them all, John. I can't name them all.
Put you on the spot. You put yourself on the spot.
But we do have a compilation. We were talking about compilations earlier. We do have our own called Higher Education, like Denim, HED. And yeah, if you want to check out all the bands, you can check that out, or just go on Spotify like a normal person. But and finally, I also have a podcast called Denim Radio that I do with Ty, who's in Let's Go, and then he also has a solo project called Dwayne Regretsky. Oh, and he's just setting out
coming out soon.
Yeah, drop a live album that he recorded just to get some tunes out. So yeah. that's what I got going on. So anybody,
what do you got going on, Nick?
Like I said, going snowboarding tomorrow. Just taking things.
He's gonna watch Slappy and the Stink.
I'm gonna watch those movies that you guys recommended. I think I may have slept on those. Like, I'm not as big of a movie guy as I'm a music guy, but yeah, just working on trash songs. Go have a jam. I always try to show up prepared. You know, I got to make the 4-hour drive, so I make sure I'm well prepared. I just in this very room, I practice my butt off, slap away at the bass, and then just juggling everything, work-life balance stuff. You know, everything's going good, man.
Since you said, I mean, you know, you're a bass player now. I guess I could ask you who's a bass influence.
Oh, I'd have to say like, even though I don't play fingerstyle as much anymore, I used to play like that more. Carl Alvarez of the Descendants, um, Scott Shiflett from Face to Face, you know, uh, Bad Religions, Jay Bentley, lots of good punk bassists. Lil Joe from Lagwagon, and there's Fat Mike, of course. Yeah, just learning songs over the years. Like, you get so much experience just from like learning songs and different tendencies of how people play and their approach. You know, like Blink 182, lots of chords and that stuff, and like there's just endless rabbit holes as to how people approach the bass, and then you sort of find your way in what you like, and yeah, it's a fun process. I really enjoy it.
Oh yeah, man. And Reiki, what you got going on? You got any projects or anything?
No, not really, man. Just trying to get through this this cast time. Shouldn't be much longer, but just drinking lots of milk. No. Yeah, not too much going on for me.
All right. Well, where can everybody find Trashed Ambulance?
Check us out. The main thing we use is Instagram for sure. It's at Trashed Ambulance. We're on Facebook too. Usually just like my Instagram posts go to Facebook, and then if I feel like it, I'll go on there and we'll fix the tags. But a lot of time, I don't spend a lot of time on Facebook personally.
Neither do I.
Instagram just seems like a better time. I don't know. That's my personal opinion, but yeah, that's the best places. If you want to buy some of our stuff, you go to thousandsislandsrecords.com. They got some shirts and stuff, like print on demand stuff, and then our record. We got a couple cassette tapes, some CDs. Ooh. And yeah, that's about it. I mean, we got a YouTube channel. We do have some funny music videos. We actually got to get together, and once we do some new songs, we're gonna definitely focus more on doing some music videos, because I like doing them. I think they're hilarious. So
Reiki's got a buddy who has like an axe throwing place, and I threw an idea out there for a fun music video there.
Hell yeah!
I hope that comes to fruition.
Well, real quick, you said I haven't seen any of the videos yet, but I am going to watch them. But you have animated ones. Who does your animations?
So when we last time we went out east, we met this dude named Matt at a Toronto show. And he was a fan of the band. We gave him some CDs, or I can't remember what happened, and I kind of forgot about him. Then just out of nowhere, we get an email from him, and he's like, "Hey, I make cartoons. I made you guys a music video," and it was like an animated version of us like playing a song, one of our songs off of at the time we had an album called Flashes of Competence, and it was on that. And we're like, "Oh, this is really cool." And whatever, a couple of weeks passed, he's like, "I didn't like that one. I made a better one." And so he does another one. And so we have two. And then when we came out with this album, I just like reached out to him, like asking him how much he would charge. And he kind of answered, but he didn't really say anything. Then all of a sudden, he sent us the full video, and he's like, "On the house, man. Send me a record once you get the records." So at that time, it was taking forever to get vinyl pressed. It took like fucking 9 months to get our records. It was super annoying, but yeah. And then I don't know. I haven't really seen him on Instagram or anything lately. I should try to get a hold of him. But yeah, his whatever, I won't say company, because he obviously wasn't doing it for money. It was called Shitty Disney. So he's like, I'm like, "How do I credit you?" He's like, "Just say Shitty Matt made it." Like, "All right, Shitty Matt. Thanks, buddy." So yeah, I only met him the one time, but yeah, he made us 3 rad videos, and yeah, we really love that one.
Cool, man.
I think it like really captured, like, because in case you haven't heard it, like it's a duet, like in the vein of like Fairy Tale of New York, or what's the Masked Intruder song, Heart-Shaped Guitar. Yeah, Bouncing Souls had one too that was like, it's like a duet, but it's like this is not lovey-dovey at all. It's like in our instance, the guy's like total creep and like hitting on sitting on a mother of 3 that's just trying to like play with their kids at the park, and this guy's just a total creep, and just eventually the cops slug him out of there. I don't know. It's a whole big thing, but So yeah, it made for a great video, and I'm glad it was animated because I don't think we would have been able to act it and have it be that funny.
Yeah, that's animation ain't easy to do either, man.
I don't know, man. He pumps those out quick. I don't know
Yeah.
how he did it so fast. It was insane.
Yeah.
He must just have it figured out what he has to do.
I guess if you're I mean, I guess it's just like anything. Once you get comfortable with it, you're just like. So.
Yeah, it was insane how quickly he made it, but we are very grateful. So thanks, Shitty Matt. Hopefully we can cross paths again.
Shitty
Maybe
Matt.
this September when we go out east.
Oh yeah. Well, Josh, Nick, and Rica, I've enjoyed my time chatting with you, gentlemen. I appreciate you all taking the time to do this.
Thanks for having us, man.
Yeah, thanks,
Yeah,
Russ.
man.
Appreciate you, man. This
Thanks
is great.
for reaching out. I'll do it anytime. I always like to talk, So.
That's great. Yeah, we
All right,
appreciate
man.
it.
Well, till next time, gentlemen. Peace out.
Yeah, take
Peace.
care.
Yeah, thank you.
Later.
Bye.
See you, buddy.
Oh shit.